Point 1. Be unpredictably. Attraction thrives on mystery. One of the biggest mistakes many men make in relationships, whether they're just starting or in the midst of something more serious, is becoming too predictable. When you give too much away, whether it's your thoughts, feelings, or actions, you lose what fuels desire: curiosity. If a woman knows exactly what you'll say, how fast you'll respond to her, and what you'll do next, the excitement fades. She no longer has to wonder about you. And once that happens, the attraction begins to diminish. Machiavelli understood power like no other, said. People don't respect what they fully understand. They respect what they can't fully predict. This is crucial to attraction because when a woman feels like she has you figured out, she stops chasing. Predictability makes her comfortable, but comfort doesn't drive desire. When a man is too easy to figure out, there's no tension, no excitement. So how do you implement this idea in your own life? It starts by creating space for curiosity. In real life, don't reveal your entire plan on a date. Keep some mystery about what you're thinking or feeling, and don't overshare. Women are drawn to the unknown. The man who isn't constantly wearing his emotions on his sleeve or giving her every piece of information about himself. Texting first, replying immediately, or being available at her convenience. Stop. Let silence do some of the work. Respond when it makes sense, not out of obligation. Don't rush. If she hasn't replied to your text in a few hours, don't double text. Let her wonder what you're up to. In addition, avoid the trap of becoming overly predictable online. If your social media is constantly updated, every story, every post, every comment, you risk giving off a vibe of desperation. Machiavelli's wisdom is clear. Power is in perception, and online, less is often more. A high-value post, a clean profile, and a few rare but interesting updates create intrigue without trying too hard to grab attention. The goal is for her to wonder, what's he up to? Not for her to see you as always available and easy. To access, by embracing unpredictability, you create a sense of rarity and value, making her desire you more. When she's unsure of what you'll do next, she'll be more engaged with you, trying to figure you out. And that's when attraction truly begins to grow. Point 2. Make your online presence rare and valuably. Today's digital world, it's easy to fall into the trap of oversharing online. But the truth is, the more you post and the more accessible you make yourself, the less attractive you become. Your online presence should reflect the same principles of rarity and value that make you attractive in real life. When your presence is everywhere, posting every hour, commenting under every girl's post, and constantly chasing likes and attention, you lose the power to create intrigue. You don't want her to think, wow, he's always here. Because when she sees you too much, you become just another face in the crowd. You want her to think, what's he up to? Machiavelli was clear about the importance of perception and power. In the context of attraction, this couldn't be truer. The less you expose yourself online, the more mysterious and interesting you appear. Think of your online presence as a form of branding. It needs to be curated with intention. A single, high-value post that showcases your passions, lifestyle, or skills speaks volumes. It tells her that you're someone who has something to offer, someone worth following, but not someone who desperately needs validation. A clean, purposeful profile that's focused on who you are becoming, rather than who you're trying to impress, holds far more value than oversharing your thoughts, your pain, or your desperation for connection. In addition, when you're always visible on social media, you come off as easily accessible. The key to creating attraction online is to keep things rare. Don't be the guy posting every 5 minutes or engaging in every conversation. Instead, post with purpose and show glimpses of your life without exposing everything. When she sees your post, let it make her pause. Let her wonder what you're up to or what you're working on next. This builds intrigue and makes her want to know more about you. You don't have to hide, but your presence should be meaningful. Share only what reflects your growth, your achievements, and your passions. When she sees that you're not seeking attention, but still putting out content that shows who you are, she'll respect you more. Your online energy should be valuable and reserved. So when you do post, it leaves an impression. Less is more, and in a world full of noise, your silence will make you stand out in ways that constant posting never could. Point 3. Stop. Over-explaining and defending yourself. One of the quickest ways to lose attraction is by over-explaining yourself, or constantly defending your actions. When you feel the need to justify every word you say or every choice you make, you're inadvertently telling her that you don't trust your own decisions. You're putting yourself in a position where you're seeking her approval instead of standing firm in your own identity. This creates a dynamic where she becomes the judge and you become the one asking for validation, which is the opposite of what creates attraction. Machiavelli understood the importance of appearing in control and confident. He said, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him." What this means for you is simple. How you carry yourself around women tells her how she should treat you. If you're constantly over-explaining yourself, apologizing for every small thing, or justifying why you're different from other guys, you're sending the message that you lack self-assurance. This isn't a sign of strength, it's a sign of weakness, and it kills any tension or intrigue that could spark attraction in real life. You don't need to explain every joke, comment, or decision you make. If she gives you a look or asks a challenging question, don't panic. Simply smile and say something like, "You'll figure me out later." Keep the conversation light and confident. This shows that you're unbothered by her reactions. When you don't feel the need to explain yourself or seek validation, you exude calm and confidence, which is incredibly attractive. The key is not to over-explain or over-justify, but to be comfortable with a little ambiguity. You don't need to explain everything to her to make her understand. Instead, give her space to figure you out. Where the attraction lies, she begin to wonder, what's he thinking? That curiosity will pull her in. This also applies to situations where she might question your actions. If you don't respond to a text right away, don't feel the need to explain yourself or apologize. A simple, "I don't rush anything I care about," says it all. It shows you have a life outside of waiting for her response, which is incredibly magnetic. In short, stop giving away too much information. Be confident in your decisions, stand firm in your actions, and let your calm, composed nature draw her in. You don't need to explain who you are or why you're doing what you're doing. When you stop over-explaining, you stop begging for her approval, and that's when attraction really starts to build. Point 4. Be emotionally selective, not emotionally needy. One of the most attractive qualities you can possess is emotional control. If you're constantly reacting to her moods or chasing her when she pulls back, you're not showing her that you can handle your emotions. You're showing her that she has the power to dictate your state of mind. This is a dangerous dynamic. That will not only make you feel anxious, but will also lead to her losing interest. True attraction is rooted in emotional stability and the ability to remain grounded, regardless of her actions. Machiavelli understood the importance of control. In relationships, emotional control is one of the most powerful tools you can wield. When you're emotionally reactive, constantly responding to her behavior, you give her leverage over you. She becomes the center of your emotional world, and when that happens, the balance of power tips in her favor. Instead of building attraction, you create dependency and neediness. She doesn't want a man who is emotionally unpredictable and unstable. She wants someone who can remain calm and collected, no matter what's happening around him. Being emotionally selective means that you decide where and when to invest your energy. You don't give it away freely, it's earned. For example, when she starts acting cold or distant, don't panic or overthink. Don't send her a long message asking what's wrong or apologizing for something that might not even be your fault. Instead, slow down your replies. Give her space to come back to you. If she's flaking on plans or pulling away, don't chase her. Just say, "All good," and move on with your day. This shows her that your peace of mind doesn't rely on her actions. You're not desperate for her attention. You're comfortable in your own company, and that's magnetic. When you stop being emotionally needy, you stop giving her the power to control your feelings. You show her that your emotions are not tied to her behavior. This creates a sense of rarity and value. When you don't immediately react to her every move, she'll start to feel like she has to earn your emotional investment. And that's when her interest will grow by being emotionally selective. You show her that you're someone who is emotionally stable, self-sufficient, and capable of handling your own feelings. This attracts women more than being someone who's always available and overly eager to please. Point 5. Build your power so she feels lucky to get your time. The most powerful form of attraction comes from the perception.